welcome to Evolve Yourself TV. I am Agni James, and today we are going to be doing some philosophy. We'll do some meditation, talk about some other stuff, maybe a lot of random stuff. I don't know, well, whatever your heart's desire. So, how's everyone doing today? Today's been a pretty interesting day. There's a lot of fear in the U.S. because of the Ami. Oh, your ass hurts in there because of the Omicron variant. They had the first case that popped up in California, so now everyone's freaking out. Okay, so like the first thing I see in chat is Daenerys saying that her ass hurts. Like that's literally the first thing that I see when I look at the chat. Like what is going on here? That's just how we're going to start off today. All right, let's start off. Let's start off with the basics. Though I like to do things in a chronological order. I like to go through from the beginning of chat. Hey, we got One Sluggy here. How are you, brother? One Sluggy is a good friend of mine. Super nice, kind dude. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a good day today. And Daenerys is here because I know that because she just comes in and is like, yeah, my ass hurts. That's it. That's just how it goes with Daenerys. Daenerys is a streamer here on Twitch. She's in the fitness and health community. She also does meal prep. She's a badass at meal prep. Actually, I love the ideas that she comes up with for all her meal prep. And she's friends with everyone in the fitness and health community. She knows everyone. She's a super positive force. And apparently her ass hurts. All right. Let's see. Cult leader deemed that it's dead December. Oh, when you say dead, are you talking about deadlifts? Were you doing that today? And when you say cult leader, I'm assuming you're talking about Mr. Seltzy. Is that also the case? But anyways, yeah, go check out Nara. Give her a follow. Check out her stream when you get a chance. So you drop kicked your personal record. Fuck yeah, that's awesome. Good work, Daenerys. Daenerys, that's great. That's really great. Yeah, I don't do deadlifts. I never got into that type of workout, but like I have a tremendous amount of respect for people that go hardcore into that. You know, like that's like one. It's because I've had some back issues in my life. I don't want to aggravate that shit. You know, so. I don't do deadlifts, but like, I mean, I see like people like Kittens Kung Fu doing like 600, 700 pounds. It's crazy. It's crazy that kind of shit that they're doing. All right, so well, yeah, good job for you. You know, that's always a good feeling when you beat your personal record, right? That's like an amazing feeling because you can feel that progress, right? It's kind of interesting how if you can quantify something, it just seems objectively more real than if you just have like some qualitative evidence to support like that you're actually progressing, right? Like I wish there was like a gauge that we had in life that could just be like, oh, all right, you know, if you do the following things, you know, then you know you're going to increase like you know your overall level of happiness is going to increase like you know 37.6%, and then you could just like start doing the things and you could watch like a gauge actually like increasing like maybe I don't know in like in your mind or something you could see like some gauge increasing. You're like, hey, I'm rocking. I increased my overall level of happiness 26% today, and I did the following things. You know, that would be so badass. We need to come up with that kind of idea. I think that would be pretty awesome. Your previous record was 65 pounds. That was back in July. Celtic kept adding plates to your bar. Then you lift, whoa, 260. Nice job. Holy shit. You know what? I could just next time I'll just be the bar. I'll just lay down and you can just lift me up. And it'll be easy if you're doing 260, like it'll be easy for you to lift me up because I'm 210. I'm only 210 right now. So like that would be easy for you. That would actually make for great content. Think about how awesome that is. I show up at Celsius and you're just deadlifting me, and like, but just don't like throw me down on the ground like you throw like the bar. You know, you have to like kind of like you know ease me down, or maybe we could put some like padding or something there. I don't want to bloody up my pretty face, right? This is all I got left in life, so I got to take it easy with my face. You know, I was a child model. Those of you who don't know, I always say this. You know, I make sure that everyone keeps that in mind. I'm a former model, so you know, so I'm very vain. I'm very concerned about appearance, and that's just how it goes. You know, if you're in the modeling industry, that's kind of like life. You know, you become a very vain individual. All right, what do we got going on here? Oh, Rocco Hemda's here. Hey, what is up, brother? My friend since I was 5 years old. He actually was in stream yet last night and was participating. Usually he just comes in, like says like a couple things, and then it's like, I don't want to talk to this fucking asshole, and then he just like leaves. But today yesterday he was actually participating. Like, what a nice dude, you know? And he's got so much shit to do. He's got like, you know, a house to take care of. He's got like 2 little kids. all sorts of stuff. He like cleans everything, makes a lot of the meals for the home. I mean, he's just like a one of those super high energy, like intense people. I think that's why we get along so much. Like I don't know. I think I gave him some energy when we were kids, and then like now he just can't control it. So he just like cleans all day and like does everything he possibly can. I don't know what I'm talking about. All right, Nanera, you're so wrecked. Yeah, when you do that kind of workout, like if you're deadlifting 260 and your personal record before that was what do you say? It's like 65. That's crazy, right? That's like an insane like increase, right? You increase 200 pounds in your deadlift. That's madness. Like take it easy. Drink some water. Stay hydrated. Go for a massage. That's what I recommend. Go and just get like all those knots like worked out of you. Just get like a great massage. Get like a 2-hour massage. That's like one thing that I hate about this country. If you want a 2-hour massage, you basically got to be like rich. If you want to get one like on a frequent basis, those fuckers are expensive. When I went to Thailand, I was getting 2-hour massages for like $14. Like how amazing is that? So I was like, fuck it. Every day I was there for 3 weeks. I'm like, every single day I'm here, I'm gonna get a 2-hour massage for $14, and that included tip. That was like with a generous tip. So I was just like fucking. I'd wake up in the morning, I'd work out, and I'd go and just like lay down in a massage parlor for 2 hours and just have like an incredible massage. It was like the best way to start the day. Like talk about like not only does it like loosen up your body and your muscles and all that and make you feel more calm and peaceful, but it also like it's like a good detox. It gets things moving in your body, and you can expel like any like toxins and shit that are there. And that's the one thing about Bangkok. Bangkok's like a dirty city. Everyone's like, oh, go to Thailand, go to Bangkok, blah blah blah, Bangkok. Bangkok's just like a lame ass big city. It's like it's not fun. I mean, if you're gonna go to like a big city, go to like Chicago or New York or like LA. Don't go to fucking Bangkok. If you're gonna, you have to fly in there. So go to Thailand, you fly into Bangkok, and then head south. You can go to the islands. Like I went to Phuket, and that was pretty cool. It was decent, but it was kind of touristy. But then the real gem of Thailand is in the northern region. I went up by the Burmese border. There's Chiang Mai and Chiang Rai, and Chiang Rai is incredible. It's untouched by Western marketing influence. So there's no like people there are just genuine, kind human beings. They're poor. They're just like walking around and like they'll give you the shirt off their back. I mean, what awesome human beings that are up there. Hey, Roko Hemda, how are you doing, man? Like how's life? You said it smells so bad. Yeah, that's the other thing about Bangkok. One thing that's really weird about Bangkok is that you walk down the sidewalk and it's just like it's like slippery. It's like what the fuck's going on? So I was asking one of my friends that lives there. I was like, why is the goddamn sidewalk like slippery? Like I'm walking around in sandals and I had to like put a lot of emphasis and energy just to like make sure I wouldn't like wipe out and fucking fall on my ass. And then I'd be the one with the hurt ass in an era. Like what would happen then, right? Um, and I almost did wipe out like many times, right? But it's because they just take their fucking garbage and they just like throw it in I think they're called soys, SOI. That's like their alley, and they just like throw their garbage in the soys. Like they don't even have a garbage system really. It's like a big mess. I don't know what the fuck they do with their garbage, but like people just like throw their food all over the place and like in the alleys. It's like, dude, that doesn't take care of the problem. That's just kind of moving it like slightly off the sidewalk, and then all that grease and shit just kind of drains down into the sidewalk, and you're just like walking around on a slip and slide all day. Yeah, and it does smell bad. I don't think they have any kind of environmental protection restrictions on like what you can pollute or whatnot. We have an EPA here, and that helps like somewhat, but I don't think they have that in Thailand. People just the industries just pollute all over the place, and you're lucky if you can like experience life without dying of not being able to breathe. I mean, it's pretty crazy like that what goes on in Bangkok. But that's kind of typical of developing countries. They're just kind of like oh well we got to get some shit moving. We're sick and tired of being poor and starving to death. So let's like get some industry going, and we're gonna make this as cost effective as possible, and we're gonna start making some money, and we're gonna destroy the environment in the process. But what are you gonna do, right? I mean, it's either that or starve to death. Unless like someone like the U.S. or someone comes in and like helps them out. But I don't think we really help anyone out with that shit. Nanera, you say last time you got a massage you were in pain and bruised from a massage. That's crazy. Whoever was doing it wasn't like doing it right. I don't know. Like if they're like hurting you and like causing you to be bruised for a week, like I don't know what they're doing. Or maybe you just react differently to it. I don't know. I mean, I'm intense with massages. Like I never can get enough pressure. I always try to get a massage therapist that gives like the most intense deep tissue massages on the planet. Because if I can get that, then I feel good. I had this one massage therapist out near me. Her name was Virginia, and she gave such intense like massages, and I would go there for like an hour and a half. It was just at like a Massage Envy, but she was the gem of Massage Envy, right? And so I would go and I'd get a massage from her, and she said in the 20 years that she's been giving massages, I'm the only person that has not tapped out. I would just let her like, dig as hard as she possibly could, and she was like strong. She was one of those like really like, like tough, like ripped, like, like women that can just get in there and dig through all that shit, right? And so she would just go in there, and I loved it. I felt such a release from getting those massages. And I told her, I was like, you can stick your. She was always like, are you sure this isn't hurting? Are you sure this isn't too much pressure? I'm like, no, this is great. I was like, look, I want you to basically press with so much pressure that you're like sticking your hands through my chest cavity and gonna go off the other side, kind of like Kano in Mortal Kombat. I want to like just like go all the way in, and like just really like move shit around in there. Don't rip out my heart, obviously, because that's kind of important. But well, maybe not. My heart's been dead for a long time, so maybe it's not important, right? I don't know. I don't know what we're talking about anymore. Welcome to say at least you can flush toilet paper there. Yeah, I mean, and yeah, they mostly have bidets. So here's another thing to note about Thailand. They have like a weird, it's like a hose on the wall. That's like their system for toilets. So it's like, you go, you just sit down, you do your business, and then you take the hose and you just kind of, you know, clean yourself with the hose. You shoot the water up there, right? But the main thing, and this is something that I think a big mistake that a lot of people do, is that they don't check to see that if the hose works prior to sitting down, right? Because that could be a major issue, right? Imagine that you're in a stall, and it's like you just had some like spicy Thai food, and things aren't moving around really well in your system, and then all of a sudden you're like relieve yourself, and then you like take the hose, and it's like not coming out, right? Or coming out in a trickle. And a lot of the hoses in public restrooms are like that. Like you'll go in a stall and it like won't work. There'll be like one out of every 5 stalls that just won't work. So you got to always test out the hose before you sit down. Otherwise, it's going to make for a weird experience. I mean, you'd have to get up and walk out of the stall, and I don't know, I wouldn't want to pull up my pants in that situation. I'd probably just walk out naked and just walk into the next stall. I mean, but that's just me. That's just my own way of doing it. Yeah, and you can flush toilet paper there. That's another thing. They do have flushable toilets, which is good, but it's just like you'll have just a few pieces of toilet paper, and that will just be like to clean yourself at the end, right? It's not like you're using toilet paper for the most part. But they got weird plumbing issues and stuff like that in Thailand. Hey, JT Farms is here. Hello, JT Farms. I always do this when she enters because she gifted me this wonderful fire quartz recently. Good to see you, JT. How is life going with you? My channel shaman has arrived. Now all of a sudden things are going to get better. Whenever she's not here, I always know it. I'm always like, where the fuck is JT? Can I even stream? Can I even do this? And then she shows up, and I'm like, okay, all right, things are in order now. I can actually get down to business and help people find some inner peace. But yeah, I'm glad you're here. If you say I'm nothing better than talking about shit before, it is the best thing to talk about, and it's kind of. I think it's actually very appropriate, right? Because if you think about it, when you're in the external world, right, what are you dealing with on a daily basis? You're dealing with shit, right? You have some boss that's got a big ego and is like yelling at you, right? And like that, you're dealing with shit. You have some you're driving, and like some guy cuts you off and is like driving like an asshole in front of you. You're dealing with shit, right? You have like a 2-year-old kid that just wants to scream at you all day. It's like you're dealing with shit, but then you got to deal with shit every day. But then you come into a meditation, right? You go internally, you go into the internal space of perfect peace and oneness within you, and you can relinquish all that. You can purge all that shit, and maybe we can just say the shit is a placeholder for like the ego. It's like another word for the ego. It's we can go with that. And so it's just like you're purging out that ego, and you're letting it go, and you're returning to your state of inner being, your state of oneness and joy within you, right? And that's the thing. When you feel that shit, when you feel the real truth within you, it's like all that other stuff doesn't matter anymore. It's like, oh yeah, I was like allowing my peace to be hijacked because I had I had a boss yelling at me with disparaging comments all day, right? But then it's like that stuff just kind of fades away. It fades away into the background because you're like, oh yeah, that's right. This is truth. This is where where reality lies. You know, all that shit that we see out there in the external world. I mean, what is that, right? It's just, you know, all it is basically we have all these things in the it's not even how it is, right? We have all these things in the external world that are feeding information into us, and we have just five senses. So we just take out those five senses and we use that to, like, you know, bring in a very tiny bit of information, right? We're just taking this tiny little bit of information from the totality of all information that's around us, right? And then we have these, you know, little brains, you know, human brains that we just are able to, like, process this tiny little bit of information with. And then all we're doing is we're projecting it outward, and we're like, oh, you know, hey, there's a chair, or there's a cat, or there's a donkey, right? Or and that's a wall behind me, right? And that's all we're doing. We're not actually seeing things as they actually are, right? We're just seeing things as our perception allows us to see, because we're limited finite beings within this human form. And that's kind of like, it's kind of a fucking joke. I mean, I don't like that shit. I don't know how most people seem to be, like, okay with that. Everyone's like, oh, well, we're living in the phenomenal world, right? We're just gonna, like, go along and, like, you know, be all right. But I want that noumenal fucking essence. I want to be there in that place where things are as they are in themselves. You know, that's that place of perfect oneness, that place of peace, that place of love and joy. That's, like, what we deserve. We don't, you know, we're entitled to more than this phenomenal world. Okay, let me, like, slow it down a little bit. You probably can tell I had a really intense Bikram yoga session today. When I come out here, like, you know, full intensity, I've usually done some intense yoga at night. And you would think most people are, like, you know, relaxed during yoga, but I get intense. I don't know why. JT, you say you're good, feeling under the weather, but dealing with it. Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling over the weather right now, and I'm not dealing with it. So, like, we have, like, the opposite problem going on right now. Like, I've been, like way up high, like a little bit over everything, and now I'm gonna be, you know, bringing everything down in a little bit, and we can just do some meditation, do some grounding stuff. I don't know. What's going on? What kind of symptoms are you having? Are you having, like, you know, like a cold, you know, congestion? I mean, they do have the Omicron variant now in California. I hope you don't have that variant. You know, everyone's freaking out. By the way, I do day trading and swing trading, and I also, you know, just do a lot of investment stuff. So today I was looking at my portfolio, and I was like, everything was going great. Excuse me. At the beginning of the day, I was up like a shit ton of money. Everything was great. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm up, like, you know, $2,000 already. You know, this is going to be a great day. Everything's phenomenal. And then they announced that the Omicron variant, like, that there was a case of it in California, and immediately the market just, like, you know, just fucking tanked. So it was, like, so depressing. I'm watching like all my fucking stocks just, like like crash, like, immediately, and I went from, like, up 2,000 to, like, down 2,000. It's like, that's, like, crazy. That's a $4,000 swing in just, like, a matter of, like, a few hours. I mean, that shit usually doesn't happen like that, but such is life, you know, and it's just fear. I mean, at the end of the day, it's fear. I mean, we knew that the Omicron variant was going to come to the U.S. It's not like, oh, you know, yeah, it's just going to stop in Canada. It's never, you know, it's going to stop in South Africa. It's never going to, like, you know, move around the world. Of course it's going to move around the world, right? We knew this shit was going to happen. The problem is, and this is what drives the stock market, is that people are afraid. So, like, you know, one person's like, oh my God, I'm so afraid, you know, because, like, my stock is going down, so I'm going to sell it, and I'm going to invest all my money in gold then, because that's what people do when they feel afraid. They want to liquidate all their stocks, and then, you know, invest in gold, which is, like, idiotic, but that's what people do, right? And then, so, you know, then the one person does it, and then, like, it makes, you know, it affects all the other stocks, and a lot of people start doing it, and then it gains momentum, and then everyone's, like, freaking out, oh my God, look how much everything's going down, and they start selling off and investing in, like, in fucking gold and silver and copper. And it's like what are you guys even doing? Like, why are you buying into this fear-based shit, you know? And it's like, whatever, you know, I get the fact that they're scared, and so it's like, you can't blame them, but, you know, that's not the way to make money. I mean, if you want to make money, you know, you buy, like, I was buying stock today. Today I was like, holy shit, this is a great buying opportunity. You know, I just recently bought a bunch of United Airlines stock because it's so cheap. It's discounted. I bought a bunch of Tesla because it dropped and it was discounted. And it's like, I know Tesla's going to be fucking going up, you know, in the future. It's like, what are people doing? Like, why is everyone just fucking selling all their shit and, like, freaking out? You know, just relax. It's going to be okay. It's not. And you know what? If let's say, like, the worst comes to worst, and, like, the stock market completely crashes, and it's like fucking every company goes down to, like, zero, which is, it can't, right? But, like, let's say, like, something like that happened. Well, then it's the end of the world anyway, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't even fucking matter, because we're all just going to die anyway. So, like, so you might as well do the smart thing when you're investing. And here's another thing for investors, for people who are thinking about investing. If you look at any 10-year period, from the beginning of the stock market, throughout all of American time, right? All of the USA, stock market time. It's the stock market has always increased over any 10-year period, and I mean that includes a Great Depression, that includes all the recessions we've had, that includes all that shit. Any 10-year period, if you had invested, you're always going to be higher at the end of that 10-year period, and that's pretty good fucking evidence. That should be reassuring to some people who are losing money. But people see the red. They're like, oh, everything's in the red. I better sell all my existence away. And then everything goes back up. They're like, oh shit, I wonder why I should have held on to everything. Why did I sell? Oh yeah, because I was afraid and because my neighbors sold their shares. All right, let's see what do we got going on here. JT, you say you're gonna rewatch me later on 1.25 speed. Gonna be awesome. Yeah, I don't know what would happen. I don't know what would happen then. I mean, I don't know if I'd sound like Mickey Mouse or I don't know. Maybe you should slow me down. Actually, maybe you should watch it on like 0.75 speed, so such that like I'm at a more normal intensity level, right? That might be better. Yeah, I mean it's kind of funny though. Once, so you're right. I mean it is kind of funny. Like I do come out, guns blazing. I'm high intensity sometimes, but that's just how it goes. JT, you say yeah, cold symptoms, but it's bearable. Yeah, I mean, fucking colds, they're annoying. I always say just load up on vitamin C, load up on echinacea, drink tons of water, eat fruit, healthy foods, vegetables. Broccoli is a killer. Broccoli is really good to pound. So I just bought a bunch of broccoli after yoga. I was like, fuck it, I need some broccoli. So I went to the store and I found some good broccoli, and I'm just gonna. After the stream, I'm just gonna go and just fucking start like eating the goddamn thing. I have like the thing of broccoli is like this big. I think I'm gonna eat the whole goddamn thing. I like to get intense with food, and really passionate when I eat. Most people are like, ooh, I'm gonna like, use good table manners and sit here, when I'm by myself and like cut my broccoli, or I don't know how the fuck do people even eat broccoli? Well, they cut it up, and then they like eat like a piece and they like chew on it very slowly. I'm just gonna fucking go crazy on that shit. I'm just gonna shove all that broccoli in my mouth and eat it like a primitive animal. That's like if you're gonna eat broccoli, I mean, you might as well do it with passion. Oh God. Let's see. Nah, high speed, dude. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. You should do it to like 2x, right? See what happens then. That would be crazy to do a meditation at 2x speed. I don't know. I don't know if that would be peaceful though. Like it might be, but it might not. Let's see. JT, you say you've been craving greens all day. Got mustard greens in the fridge, but too weak to cook. So you're really sick. Holy shit. I'm like really strong. I need to come over and cook for you. I should fly out to California. And come out and cook for you, right? Like tomorrow or something. That would be pretty wild, right? If I just like showed up at your house and I'm just like knocking on your door, I'm like, hey, it's Agni, I'm here. I got the fire quartz, and I'm ready to cook for you. Just go get on a flight, right? I could just, what? I just bought more stock, more United Airlines stock. I might as well support them, right? I'm just gonna go fucking get a flight right now. All right, guys, see you later. It's been a great stream. I'm going to Joy's. Maybe I'll start. Hey, Joy, I could stream from your house. I should stream from your place, and we could do like a group stream, and we could even get Mark to come in on the stream. Well, and like Mark will do meditation with us. I think that would be pretty interesting, right? Because we got to get him involved in some meditation. It's about time, like you guys have been married too long. It's like that dude needs to get some meditation in his system. But can I cook? Yeah, I mean, it's funny. Like I always say that I don't cook, right? I always say like I can't cook, but I can cook. I mean, my thing though is I hate like trying to plan everything out. Like it just drives me nuts. Like, so what I do is I just buy a bunch of ingredients, and then over the course of the day I just get hungry and hungrier and hungrier, right? And it just kind of builds up, and I'll like start snacking on like pistachios and like just random shit throughout the day. And I'll just get like hungry and hungrier, and I'll feel like I need like a really good meal, and then I'll start getting like really angry, and then I go and I just cook a ton. Like when I'm angry, like I like to do anger cooking. So I'll just get like really angry and like hungry and like kind of like very primitive, right? And I'll just go in the kitchen. And I'm just like I'll take everything out of my fucking fridge. I'm like, I'm just gonna cook everything. I'm gonna cook every fucking thing I got in my fridge, and I'll just start cooking up things one after the other after the other. And then like next thing you know, like 6 hours have gone by, and I have like tons of meals. I have tons of food there, right? And then I have food for like the next like 5 days. And then like after the 5 days, like I'll go grocery shopping again, and I'll just sit around and like I'll be hungry, and I'll start getting more pissed off, and the cycle continues. That's kind of how I do it. It's not strategic, but it works for me. Like, and it's a good way to release a lot of anger is just to like get on there and just start cooking food. I'll sometimes like I'll yell at my broccoli, yell at the food. Fucking get in there, broccoli, and I'll like chop it up and like throw it in the pan and like cut whatever I'm doing, like cutting up vegetables. I'll like get at those vegetables, like throw them in there with force, with authority. I feel like if you throw vegetables in a pan with authority, you get more satisfaction than of like gently like taking the cutting board over and just doing that move. Like I like whipping them in there. As long as you have a big pan. The worst is like if you throw them in and they splatter out, right? Then you're just like, fuck, I just made a mess. All right. What I don't even know what the fuck we're talking about here. Let's see. Cooking stream. Yeah, I mean that would be cool. How about like an angry cooking stream, right? I just scream at the food like while I'm cooking. Like I don't know. Do people ever do that? Have you guys ever seen an angry cooking stream where someone just like screams at the food and like like that's how they make like the best food? It would be exciting. It would definitely be exciting. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's good for my health to do it, but like that's kind of what I do. Let's see. JT, you say Mark only meditates to football during the season. Yeah, right. And I mean, I used to be more in line with that, right? I was a big Atlanta Falcons fan when they had Michael Vick back in the day, and that was like one of my big things. Like I loved watching Michael Vick. He was the most interesting quarterback I've ever seen play. And then there was all that fallout with him, like fucking having dog fighting and shit like that. But like when he was in his prime, he was super interesting to watch. So I remember just going on and like watching Vic play, and it always made me happy. It definitely was a good experience. JT Farms, you say, fuck yeah, in my altar room. What cooking in your altar room? That's intense. I don't know. How can you cook in your altar room? Like, are you talking about just like cutting food up or like actually throwing shit in the oven? Is your altar room your kitchen? Like what's going on here? Are you like praying in front of the microwave? All right. One song you say angry cooking stream. It would be different. Yeah, it would be different, right? And it would be interesting content, right? I don't know. I don't know if anyone's ever done that. I've never seen anyone do that. But like it would be kind of interesting. So you get someone just like screaming at all the food as they prepare it. But here's the thing. If you're gonna do that, you got to own it, right? You can't just like be like, oh, I'm just gonna like gently like prepare this food. You have to like really own it. So it's got to end up tasting good, and you got to be careful when you're cutting, obviously, because you don't want to like cut your finger off. I mean, that would make for really really good content, right? If you cut your finger off on stream, like that would be pretty badass. I mean, it would suck because your finger would be gone, but I'm sure if someone clipped that, like you get like it would probably go viral, right? It's probably not worth it, but who knows? Let's see, where are we at here? Roko Hemda, last time you did angry cooking, you got stitches. Yeah, and then I guess that's the one downside to it, right? You can get hurt. I mean, cooking is a little bit of a weird thing, right? You can get burned, you can get hurt. I mean, I burned myself once. I took like a pan out of the oven. I don't know if you can see it. It's like, probably not. There was like a scar like right in here. Like. So I like took the pan out and I just felt it like touching my flesh, and I was like, oh really? And then I fucking iced it and everything, and it didn't matter. It didn't even fucking matter at the end of the day. It's just like scarred. I'm scarred, But it's a good reminder to me, to like be a little more cognizant of shit you take out of the oven, right? Let's see. All right, where are we at here? One song you say, oh yeah, whatever you do, and whenever you do anything, do it with all the confidence. Yeah, and that's kind of good, right? It is kind of good to. They say, what do they say? Fake it until you make it, right? You want to do shit with confidence. You want to go in like all in, like do what you can, right? Because life's short. If you don't go all in on something, what are you doing? You're just half-assing it, and it's, then if it sucks. If you go all in on something and it turns out awesome, it's like then you're gonna feel really good and you're gonna be like, I deserve this. This is awesome. But if you like half-ass something and it doesn't work out, you're gonna be like, what the fuck am I doing? Like I could have made this better. I could have made this actually work, and I just fucking was like a lazy dude and just half-ass this shit. All right. One thing you say, anytime I use the bathroom, I walk in that room like, yeah, right. You just fucking walk in like you own the place, right? There's a funny story. Like, so when I was like, let's see, how old was I at the time? I was like 17 years old, and I was working at this movie theater, right? And I worked there for like, I don't know, a few months, and the job blew, so I left the job. And then my buddy was still working there, and the way it would work is you'd walk into the theater, and there would just be some kid at some like 16-year-old kid at the podium, and then you just like give him your ticket, and he'd like only look at it half the time, and then he'd be sitting there with a sheet of where all the movies were, like what theaters each movie was in, and then like he'd like tell you like where your movie's at, right? So my buddy worked there, and he's like, dude, you want some free movies? And I was like, yeah, I want some free movies, but you're gonna be leaving the job. He's like, oh, don't worry. He's like, here, all you do is you walk in there like you own the place. He's like, just walk in, walk right up to the kid at the podium, and so I started doing that. So I would walk in directly to the kid at the podium. I would literally pick up the piece of paper that was on the podium that he was going to be looking at, and I would just start looking down through all the movies, and I would just name drop the general manager's name. I'd be like, oh yeah, is Grindstaff working today? And he never came through there. Is Grindstaff here today? And he's like, no, he's not here. I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna go check out a movie. I'll check back later for him. And like I just walk in, and I did this for like 2 years. It's crazy, but I walked in with confidence. I just walked in like I owned the place, right? And it was like a really unethical thing to do. And like in hindsight, I look back and I was like, dude, that was stupid. But at the same time, it goes to show like how people are just like, if you just are walking in and you like look confident and you expect to like, and people just expect you to be like following whatever protocol is actually right, and like that's just the way. I got two years worth of free movies out of that. All right. Okay, I think it's time for some meditation. I don't want to lose my voice. I don't want this to be like a really long stream either. And I feel like the most important thing that I can offer people is meditation. So we're gonna hop into that. I hope everyone's cool with that. I hope everyone's ready for some good meditation. Because I sure am. It's like, sure, we could be high intensity and high energy during the day. We can come out with like a lot of like gusto and like force and like I don't know, make things lively and exciting. But at the end of the day, what do we want in ourselves? We want inner peace, right? We want joy. We want love in our lives. And it's like all the intensity in the world is going to maybe get you some, is going to win you some championships, in the NBA, or win you some Super Bowls, right? Maybe win you some some chess championships as well. But it's not gonna give you that inner peace and joy that we really want. We want to experience that. So that's what it's all about at the end of the day. So now we're going to lower the intensity. We're going to bring our energy focused to our heart chakra. And we're going to prepare for the meditation. Find a comfortable seated position. You can sit on the floor in lotus pose. You can sit cross-legged. Or you can sit in a chair. The main thing is to find a seated position that is comfortable for you. And then gently close your eyes. And take a few deep breaths on your own. I have a Buddhist chant that I play that has a chime that goes off every 2 seconds. And you can use that to help regulate your breath count. Take a few more deep breaths on your own while maintaining good posture. Inhale through your nose, gently raising your belly. Exhale through your mouth, gently lowering your belly. Breathe in through your nose, gently raising your abdomen. Breathe out through your mouth, gently lowering your abdomen. Stay focused on your breath. Inhale, gently raising your belly. Exhale, gently lowering your belly. Breathe in, gently raising your abdomen. Breathe out, gently lowering your abdomen. Keep your awareness on your breath count. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that does not serve you well. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all that is of no benefit. The breath calms the body, and the body calms the mind. Be mindful of your breath count. When thoughts arise in your mind, release them and return to your breath. Visualize yourself sitting on a mountaintop. Watching the clouds move through the sky beneath you. Two clouds merge into one, and one cloud divides into two. Those clouds are like your thoughts. Thoughts come into being, exist in conscious awareness for a while, and then disappear from your mind. That is the nature of human thought. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that does not serve you well. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all that is of no benefit. Keep your awareness on your breath. When thoughts arise in your mind, visualize them as clouds moving through the sky and disappearing over the horizon. And return your focus to your breath count. Your essence is love. The manifestation of love is light. Your purpose is to shine your light on others. Awakening the inner light within them. And they will shine their light on all whom they encounter. Until the whole world is glowing radiantly once again. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that is of no benefit. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all ego which obscures your third eyesight. Keep your awareness on your breath. As thoughts arise in your mind, visualize them as clouds moving through the sky and disappearing over the horizon. Returning your awareness to your breath count. Your foundational essence is the purest love imaginable. manifestation of that love is the purest light imaginable. Your purpose is to shine radiantly on all those whom you encounter. Bypassing the ego and awakening the inner light within them. Connecting to their light is the strongest form of connection. And by doing so, you are a miracle worker. Be the light. For your essence is love. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that is of no benefit. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all ego which obscures your third eye vision. Focus on your breath. Do not allow internal chatter to enter your mind. Release any thoughts and go in to the stillness. For in the internal state of perfect stillness, there can be only love. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that is of no benefit. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all ego which obscures your third eye vision. Focus on your breath. On your next breath, travel down beneath the level of conscious awareness. Go to the region of your heart chakra. Feel the love that emanates from that location. Feel the warmth that surrounds your love. Visualize light flowing from your love. The light starts out vocalized in the heart chakra and expands throughout your body. Soon the light expands further outward to the contours of your room. And you feel perfect peace being immersed in this light. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that is of no benefit. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all ego which hinders your third eye vision. Focus on your breath. On your next breath, give yourself permission to experience the perfect peace within you. Melt into that peace. Visualize all stress and tension being released from your body. Watch as all stress and tension is released from your mind. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that is of no benefit. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all ego which obscures your third eye sight. Keep your awareness on your breath count. When thoughts arise in your mind, visualize them as clouds moving through the sky and disappearing over the horizon. Returning your awareness to your perfect breath. On your next breath, travel down again to the region of your heart chakra. Hone in on the love that emanates from that location. Go down deeper into that love. Go to that place of perfect monism. For in that place, there can be no division. For what is eternally one cannot be two. And fear can never enter that space. For perfect love is incompatible with fear. Go down deeper, further still, to the center point of your love. Feel the joy that flows through your center. In that place, you are one with all of creation. In that place, you radiate light to all of the world. That center point is your eternal home. Focus on your center. The love that flows endlessly through your center point is calling to you. Will you accept its call? Keep your attention directed on your center. And when you're ready, go on through. I'll see you on the other side. At your center point, you remember who you truly are. At your center, you remember how you came to be. At your center point, you remember your true nature. And at your center, you remember your divine purpose. In this place, you remember that you are eternal. Here, you are immutable. In this place, you are divine love. Flowing forever from the source of all creation. Here, you are perfect. Here, you are omniscient. Here, you are one with all of creation. For you have finally come home. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all stress and tension from your body. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all stress and tension from your mind. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all fear and worry from your being. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all imperfection from your mind. Gently open your eyes and return to the present moment, bringing with you the peace from this meditation throughout the remainder of your day. Namaste. Thank you so much for being here with me in this sacred space. I am honored and humbled to be here as your meditation guide, and I am grateful that you decided to embark on this path with me. I hope you all feel more peace, love, and joy in your lives, and I hope you can carry that with you throughout the rest of your day. All right, how was that, everyone? I hope you're all feeling good. Yeah, right on track. That was 45 minutes. A lot of these meditations end up just going exactly 45 minutes, which is pretty cool. I think that's a good amount of time to do a meditation. JT Farms, excellent. You got something out of this meditation. You enjoyed it. Well, thank you. A little side note, I was a little concerned during the beginning of the meditation because I felt my hamstrings starting to cramp up a little. And this is something that happens to me no matter how much I hydrate, no matter how much electrolytes I consume. If I do a ton of Bikram yoga, I sweat it all out. And sometimes I cramp up, so I had to leave at the beginning of the meditation and go get bananas. And if you were sitting with your eyes closed, you didn't know, but I had to eat a banana during the meditation for a while. But you know what? My hamstrings, they made it. They didn't cramp up, so all is well. Thank you all so much for being here. I'm so happy that you were here with me. It's truly a blessing for me to share this space with you. All right. Let's see who is available. Hey, One Sluggy. Dude, I love you, man. You're awesome. You're such an awesome dude. I'm so happy that you dig meditation and that you're here in the fitness and health community. You know, we all got each other's back here. That's what it comes down to, you know. So thank you for being here with me, man. Thank you. You deserve peace, love, and joy in your life, man. That's absolutely what you deserve. Okay, let's see. Oh, all right. Who's streaming? We got some options today. Whoa, what do we got going on here? Uh, oh, thank you so much for the follow. Much appreciated. GG247. Much appreciated. Wonderful. Okay, let's see. Gigi, we're just about ready to raid someone, actually. We just finished the meditation, and now we're all kind of zenned out with love and light, and we're ready to raid someone. And I think I want to raid. I have a new friend in the Twitch community, and I want to raid her again, just because I really respect this person. She's done a lot of good work promoting mental health awareness, and she's done a lot of volunteer work and has given donations or has donated a lot of her money and time and energy to helping out people who struggle with mental health issues. She's an excellent musician, but more than that, she's a comedian. She's incredibly funny. She's super funny. And I just I really respect what she does. You know, she's one of those people with many gifts. You know, she was a former Australian table tennis champion, and she, you know, is a great musician and artist, and you know, she's a yogi too. She's just a really nice person. So let's raid Mary Amber. Thank you all again so much for everything you've given me, and I'm truly grateful that we got to share this sacred space together. So have a good day, and send her some love when you show up in her chat, and check her out. She's definitely worth it. Drop her a follow. Namaste.